You guys, welcome to the new agent call. It is Sunday, which means it is time to grow and get better and plug on in. My name is Alexander Strate. I'm the Executive Vice President of FFL Fire hosting tonight's call. And the goal is that over the next 30 to 60 minutes to lay out everything that you'll need to know in order to plug in, get started fast with Family First Life, and get to 20K a month in your first 90 days. And there's two ways to do this business. You could do this business slow, which is really, really painful. It's like purgatory. It's a slow, painful death. Or you could do this business fast, which is a lot more fun. And both are hard. So you just got to choose your hard. Do you want the pain of discipline or the pain of regret, right? So this is all about getting plugged in, going fast, making sure that you have exactly what you need in order to get started and get on the right path to the 20K a month in your first 90 days. So what I'd recommend for each and every single one of you is have something to take notes with, pen and paper. A lot better than just notes in your phone. Notes in your phone get buried forever. Pen and paper, you can go back and reference. You can add to it every single week, every time there's a training call. So get your pen and paper out, plug in for the next 30 to 60 minutes. Make sure that you guys are focused, because at the end of the day, this is your business. This is your bills you have to pay. This is your legacies, your family you're trying to take care of. And so I can only give you so much of myself for the next 30 to 60 minutes. You have to commit to yourself as well for that same kind of time frame. So with that being said, we're going to start off with going over the basics of exactly what we need to do in order to get plugged in and to make sure that we're all on the same page. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen real quick. We'll go over a couple different things off of our website. After that, we will go over some lead flow, a little bit about phone scripts before we finally finish it with a little bit of role playing for the in-home and things like that. So 30 to 60 minutes, power hour. We're going to go ahead and crank through this. I'm excited. If you guys are with me, go ahead and drop a 1 in the chat just to make sure you guys are all with me and you guys are just as excited as I am. So cool. Here they come. All right. So everyone can see my screen okay? So what I'm going ahead and show you guys is write down this website. First thing to write down is fflamerica.com. fflamerica.com. This is going to be your resource website. So when you're moving forward in your FFL career and you're like, I have a question about something, where should I go? The very first thing you should do is check fflamerica.com and teach yourself to be resourceful. If you can't find the answer on here, that's when you go ask your manager. But the resources are all here. You just got to learn how to be resourceful. And that's what this website will do. So we're going to go through this checklist together. We're going to crank through this. This is exactly what every single person should do by the end of this call, if not in real time with me, if you're pulling it up on your phone or on your computer. So the first thing you want to do is you want to join our private Facebook group. If you click on the Here button, it'll open up a different tab that pulls up our Facebook group. Our Facebook group has got thousands of members. We're over 32,000 members in it. And if you're not inside of it, you're going to have a button over here. It's going to request to join. Make sure to go ahead and request to join our Facebook group. Let them know that you're invited by either your hiring manager, or you could put Alexander Strate if you just want to be safe. And that's how we'll make sure that you guys are inside of our Facebook group. Lots of great updates, training call reminders, motivation, just a really good supportive community overall. So make sure you guys are inside of our Facebook group. The second thing, and you can do this right now, so physically grab your phones, like you're literally right this second. Like, don't just look at me, like pick up your phone. And you're going to go to your text messages on your phone. You're going to type in 224-225-8777 as the phone number. And in all caps, you're going to type join, J-O-I-N, in all caps, and click send. You're going to send the text join to 224-225-8777. That's how you get training call reminders moving forward. Not everyone, we're all busy. So not everyone's life revolves around FFL. Totally get it. This is just going to make sure that if you are available to hop on training calls, you're going to get them. And so that's how you do it. And it's like 1 text a day, if that. It's not going to blow up your phone. The number is right here on your screen, Alex, 224-225-8777. Text join to that phone number. The third thing you're going to want to do is join the Team Slack app. When you click on this button, I'd recommend doing this on your phone. It's going to ask you to download an app and create an account. And you can join our Slack, which is a really good supportive community. So let me kind of show you a little bit about what Slack's all about, super quick. So this is Slack. The things that I like most about Slack, number one is the in-home help channel. This is really great Especially Tuesday through Saturdays, we have the underwriting genie, which what this means is that if you're physically in a home with a client like Brent was, and you're sitting with someone who has a bunch of meds that you've never heard of in your life, and you're like, holy crap, I don't know what to do. I don't know what product to write. You can literally post it here in the in-home help channel. And we have our underwriting genies, the little UG here, and they literally go ahead and will tell you exactly what product to write. So as a new agent, huge resource. You don't have to be a dictionary or a thesaurus or a library of knowledge about products. You just got to know how to use Slack and post in the Slack, and the underwriting genies will jump in and help you out when you're sitting with the client. Another really cool channel is the Sales Results Daily, where literally people are posting in real time all the sales that they get and the money they earn. So you could see just in the last, hour since 7 o'clock, Ramona earned about $2,200. Hayden earned 460. Cassie earned $300. Daniel earned $1,600, and Tanitra earned $500, all in the last hour since 7 o'clock. Right now it's 8 o'clock. So really, really cool. Make sure you plug in a Slack. It's a great, great community, specifically just for our agency, FFL America. So that's that one. Number 4 is the WorkSpots app. You're going to click on this button and download it. It is going to ask you to sign up for a membership. The membership is $99 a month. If you're looking at me and saying, hey, why the heck would I have to pay $99 a month? Well, 2 reasons. One, you get access to every single office in the entire company through the WorkSpots app. So if you're wondering if there's anyone local near you, that way you can go to an office, plug in, you get around people to support you. That's what the WorkSpots app is going to show you. The other thing that it's going to do, and as Kim just talked about in the comments, is you get lead discount coupons. And so like right now, there is a 20% off lead discount coupon where you go online, you go buy your leads just like you would normally, but using WorkSpots, you get a 20% discount. So if you're already going to be spending money on leads, as long as you're saving more than $100 a month, which spoiler alert, you will, it literally pays for itself. You pay the $99, you save $300, $400, $500, $600 a month in lead cost. It's a no-brainer. So get the WorkSpots app. You could select the Phoenix, Arizona office if you want. If you want to stay connected to our team and what we're doing, select the Dallas, Texas office. Or if you have an office right in your backyard, you can select that one. That way you get local updates. But super huge if you're going to be buying leads. Don't spend more money than you have to. Go ahead and use the WorkSpots app. Andy says, just bought some instant internet leads for a travel trip to California and saved $450 with one discount code. David Locke, I've saved over $4,000 in 4 months using the WorkSpots discount code. So if you guys like saving money, go ahead and do it. So that's number 4. Number 5 is subscribe to the YouTube. You click on this little here. It pulls up Grady's YouTube channel, which is, in my opinion, the best YouTube channel for Family First Life. And you click the little subscribe button. And that way, whenever a new video is posted, you'll get a notification. Allows you to stay plugged in, just little quick 20-minute videos. You can listen while you're driving, you can listen at the gym, and kind of crank good stuff out. So that is the YouTube. Number 6 is the join the corporate email blast. You click the here, pulls up a form, takes approximately 17 seconds to fill out this form. You put in your email, your name, phone, and address, and then who is your direct upline. If you do not know who your hiring manager is, feel free to put my name. My name is Alexander Strate, and that will ensure that you will actually get on the list to make sure that if there's any updates from corporate office about lead discount coupons, sales trainings, etc., you won't miss them. So, and the last thing is the FFL America Bootcamp. You click on the here. If you are not licensed yet, so if you have not passed your license, do not start this. Do not start this boot camp. Your only goal, if you're not licensed, is to pass your exam and get licensed. If you are licensed, then this is your very next step, is the boot camp. So if you have gone ahead and gone through the boot camp already, go ahead and drop a 2 in the comments, just so that way we can kind of get some perspective from people about people who have actually gone through the boot camp. So let's see. Danielle Darling, can you unmute Danielle?
Yes, hi, how are you tonight?
Amazing, aloha, how's Hawaii?
Oh, doing good. 85 and sunny right now. It's only 3 o'clock here.
That's awesome. We'll appreciate you hopping on. You just went through boot camp and you are about to get started. This is going to be your first week in the field, right?
Actually, this weekend was my first in the field, and
Okay.
I loved boot camp.
What was some of your biggest takeaways from boot camp?
For me, I'm a visual learner, so having all the YouTube videos and someone who actually stood in front of you and taught you, rather than just having reading material, was super beneficial for me. But it also literally goes through every step and it tells you exactly how to do this job. So you are walking into your first week super prepared.
Love it. Cool. Appreciate you unmuting, Danielle, and sharing. And guys, take it from a new agent. Don't take it from me. Take it from a brand new agent, brand new to this industry. The level of confidence, you could hear it in her voice to go out there and kick some butt. Guarantee you guys are going to be seeing her in Slack when she posts her sales this week. So awesome job, Danielle. Super excited to grow with you and work with you. So that is our checklist, steps 1 through 7. That all together, everything could take you 10 minutes max to get signed up for everything. So before we move forward and talk about leads, is there anyone, let me stop sharing my screen. Is there anyone that has any questions about that checklist, steps 1 through 7? If you do, I can't see you. So like unmute and just start talking. And if there's dead silence, awkward silence, we're gonna move forward. And there's that awkward silence.
I actually have a
Okay,
question.
what's up? Yes.
My name is Vernelia. My question is, I've been trying to get onto the Slack app, but my email is not one of the emails that's compatible. I actually have a business email that I'm using. So I was wondering if I could get like a actual invitation.
You got it.
When I've been trying everything and it's like asking me and I'm going in circles pretty much with it.
I got you. I'm gonna drop it in this Zoom right now. Appreciate you. See, that's why we hop on these calls.
Thank you.
Sometimes that link does act up. Just dropped a little invite right here in Zoom. So like Vernelia, if you wanted to right the second, click on that and do that while I'm talking. You could have this on in the background while you're joining the Slack. And for anyone else who's not in Slack or hasn't gotten it to work, click on that link right here in the Zoom chat. So awesome. Any other questions, steps 1 through 7 before we talk about leads? All righty, looking good. So I'm going to ask for a volunteer. If I don't get a volunteer, I'm going to have to pick on someone, and that's going to be awkward. So who here this week either just bought leads or is about to buy leads and go hit the field? And if you are, please unmute and speak up.
I am.
Hayden Davis. What's up, Hayden? What writing numbers do you have so far, Hayden? What carriers?
I believe 0. I'm getting the last of that set up through Sure LC. I was actually just talking with Andy about getting the E&O set up. But okay. As soon as that comes through, I'm going to be purchasing some leads, probably in anticipation by Thursday. Then we're going to try and hit the field by Friday and Saturday to make some money.
Cool. Awesome. I hope your writing numbers come in that fast. And if they do, then that's an awesome game plan. Even if they don't, I want to role play with you and show you how to use our CRM and talk about leads a little bit. So for leads, there's a saying is that if you don't have leads, it's not even a saying, it's just, it makes sense. If you don't have leads, then you're not going to be able to make money in this business unless you love bugging your family and friends. And so I don't know about you guys, I don't like bugging my family and friends. I don't want to be that insurance guy that's shunned from Thanksgiving dinner, not invited to the family functions because like they're worried that I'm going to try to sell them insurance. And the beautiful part about this is that we don't have to be like that because we have the ability to buy leads. And we have the freedom to buy leads, which I've worked in businesses without leads. I've worked in businesses with leads. Leads are better 10 times out of 10 because you know with confidence that you could swipe your credit card and the people you talk to, you're going to get the same 2 or 3 objections over and over and over and over again, which means if you know you're going to get the same 2 or 3 objections from these leads, if you just get practice with those objections over and over again, you just repetition, you can learn to overcome them. And then it's really, really duplicatable. It's really predictable. And it's not hard to make money in this business. It's all just a numbers game. And the more you do it, the better you get, the better your numbers will get, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So when it comes to lead flow, Hayden, Are you starting off part-time or full-time?
I'll be starting out full time.
Full-time, awesome. And so for most people for full-time, the goal is to get to 20K a month in their first 90 days. Are you kind of in the same boat as that?
Absolutely. Locked in.
Okay, cool. So for 20K a month, what I'd recommend for lead flow in order to get to 20K a month, I'd recommend anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 a week for leads. And here's the thing, not everyone has $1,000 to $1,500 day one, and that's okay. When I started off with 280 bucks and I worked my way up from there. And I got the oldest, cheapest leads I could find. I worked on really, really hard. I got like 120 leads for 280 bucks. They were years and years old. And I sold 4 of them. And those 4 sales got me enough money to get another 700 bucks of leads. And it just took off from there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to kind of go show you what I would recommend for you if you're on a little bit of a tighter budget, like $500. Then I'll show you, hey, if I got the 1,000 to 1,500 to invest, I'll kind of show you what I'd recommend at that point. So does that sound fair?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Where are you based out of, Hayden?
Houston.
Houston, Texas. All right, cool. So let me go share my screen here. So guys, for leads, there's 2 resources for leads. The first one is this handy dandy website, fflamerica.com. You click on leads and it shows you a bunch of options for leads here, right? There's a couple of videos kind of showing you some lead options, but most importantly down here is these Facebook final expense leads. These ones range anywhere from $20 to $30 each. A lot of different companies, they all offer the same thing. You just click on the link, it pulls up their website. You could read all about the company, you shop around, figure out which one you like best, and then you just go buy leads directly from the vendor. All right, all these different lead vendors. That was Game Time. Like this is Bang Bang. All right, so you'll kind of see all very, very similar. They're all just trying to sell you leads. So that's one option for leads. The other option, if you're in an area that doesn't have a lot of leads in our CRM, are these EverQuote leads. And if you ever want to get set up with this, feel free to reach out to your manager, reach out to me. We could definitely help you out with making sure you get a good EverQuote account set up. But for the majority of you, the vast majority of you, the number one lead source is going to be our own CRM. And you do have to get invited to this. So if you're not in yet and you're ready to buy leads, reach out to your manager ASAP. That way they can have their staff send you an invite. And if you're not ready to buy leads, that's probably why you don't have access to the CRM yet. But the CRM right here,
Alex,
go
can
to.
you zoom in? It's really small.
I forgot I got a big old screen here, so let me zoom in a little bit. All right, can you guys see a little better now? Much better. Cool.
Yeah, much better.
So, wonderful. So the cool thing about our CRM is you have this heat map showing all these different resources full of leads. And some areas are a little bit drier, straight up. That's why we have these other lead options over here for those areas that maybe don't have as many. And then some areas are red hot. And that means there's literally like thousands and thousands of leads in those little pockets. And so we're going to go down to Houston, kind of take a peek down where you are, Hayden, in real time. I didn't prepare for this. I don't know what it looks like, but that's the cool thing is you never know.
Harris County, right there in Houston, it is hot. It is hot, especially for instant internet life leads. Because Andy and I checked this Friday. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like every 5 minutes, it's generating like at least 200 leads.
That's awesome. So there you go. So, and that's a good point, Hayden. I was about to say that is that literally these leads, they're updating 24/7 in real time. So on the time I'm in this call, I could be in here. And if there's a new lead that comes in and I refresh my screen, it'll pop up in real time right here in the CRM. So that's the cool part about looking at something like that. So right now, if I'm looking at Harris County, and it varies depending on the time of day, depending on the exact time you check. That's why I recommend checking often. But you could see as I'm clicking around the Houston area, a couple different options. Number one, 273 aged mortgage mailers. So if you click on the little blue text, these are $2.50 each. They're going to be old. They're aged. I'm not going to sit here and pretend they just filled it out. Some of them may not even live there anymore. But let's do the math on that. 273 leads times $2.50 each is $682 for 270 leads. And on average for per sale, you make about $1,000 bucks. And so Hayden, I'm not a math major, But if I spent $682 on leads, do you think you could go one for 273 to make your money back? You cut out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
You think you could sell one out of 273?
Multiple, probably.
Multiple, yeah. Let's say you really suck, Hayden. Like, let's just say you're the worst insurance agent ever and you only sell 3 out of 273. You got like a 1% conversion rate because you just suck. You spent $682 on leads, you made $3,000, which means net you made $2,400. That's not a bad trade-off, right?
No.
So here's the thing though, for these aged leads, you're gonna have to spend a lot more time on these. The reason they're so cheap is because they're old. You have to go through a lot more leads to find those 3, but in all the dirt, there are some gold nuggets. And if you go through all the dirt, you're gonna find your gold. So the only way you don't make money, because even if you suck and you sell 1, you're still at least break even. Only way you don't make money on leads like this is if you don't work them. As long as you work the leads, you're going to make money because anyone could go 1 for 273. Is there anyone, real quick, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Is there anyone on this call that does not believe they can go 1 for 273? I'm looking at everyone's cameras. All right. So everyone on this call thinks they can go at least 1 for 273. I would hope so. And if not, you guys should just leave the call right now because this business isn't for you. Right. And that's kind of the whole idea behind this, is that like anyone can do this. You hear these huge numbers, 20K a month, and it's just like out of those 273 leads, you'd have to sell 20 and you're at 20K, right? And that's not even counting any new leads you might get moving forward. So it's just one of those things that goes to show, as long as you're willing to spend the money on leads and you work them, if you buy them and you never call them, might as well, you're just wasting your money. You got to actually work them. But if you buy the leads and you work them, it's impossible not to make money in this business. Literally impossible. So going back to our screen. So if I was on a limited budget, Hayden, what I would recommend is a mix of new leads and aged leads. And actually, that's just for everyone. I recommend a mix of new leads and aged leads whenever you're starting out, just because if you do all aged leads, you're going to get discouraged on the phones. You're going to get a lot of rejection. You're going to get hung up on a lot. If you do all new leads, it's going to be very expensive. For example, I'm looking at like these ones over here, these instant Facebook leads. These are brand new real-time final expense leads. Someone saw an ad on Facebook for final expenses and they filled out the ad on Facebook, and it's real-time, live, super hot, super fresh. It's $25. So these 4 leads is going to cost you $100. So it costs more money, but you're probably going to book 1 out of those 4, maybe even 2 out of those 4, because they're hot and they're fresh, right? Same thing with these instant internet leads. Someone who's online looking for a life insurance quote. So they went online, they searched life insurance quote or buy life insurance, Google, enter, and they clicked on a website, they filled out a bunch of info and they clicked get my quote. Boom. Now they're an instant internet lead and it's $11. It comes in real time, someone who's actively shopping. So those 5 leads would cost you $55. And so for a new agent, I always recommend a mix of new leads and aged leads. New leads are easier to book, but cost more. Aged leads are a little bit harder to book, but they cost less, and it's all about the quantity. And so as a new agent, I don't want you just having 4 leads, because you can't do a dial day with just 4 leads. I want you having like 50, 100, 150 plus. That way you just go through the numbers, build good habits. And if you only book 10% of your leads and you got 150 leads, you got 15 appointments. Does that make sense? You want to put the numbers on your side and make it so simple that anyone can do it. Does that make sense, Hayden?
Yeah.
Cool. So just kind of clicking around, as you guys see, if you click on the actual description, it shows you what the lead is, how much it costs. So these like 3-month internet leads are the exact same thing as the instant internet and the new internet leads, but they're just 3 to 6 months old instead of being fresh. So it's not on the top of their mind. It was a while ago. That's why they're $3 instead of $11. They're aged, right? So that's what I'd recommend for you, Hayden, is getting a combination of new leads and aged leads. Always try to buy in the county you're in, and then I like to pick usually 3 or 4 counties kind of in the same area, or that I can travel to that are in the same area in order to get consistent lead flow. So like for myself, I'm up here in Dallas, so I live in Dallas, but I frequently go and run these counties out on the edges just to keep myself fresh, to make sure I keep my lead flow up. Daniel Kirby lives in Dallas, but he goes and runs in Tyler. He drives an hour and a half to 2 hours away because there's lots of leads out here that don't get worked a lot. So it's not always going to be 10 minutes down the street from you. But I mean, someone asked me, hey, would you go drive an hour and a half to go pick up a $2,000 check? My answer is yes, every single time. So does that make sense?
Yep.
Cool. So Hayden, if you had, $500 to $1,500 to spend on leads, you see how you could easily, clicking around the CRM, you could easily be scooping up leads over there. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And the nice thing is, if you're in an area without as much CRM, obviously consult your manager, but then you could also use some of these sources over here as well in FFL America. You could buy direct from the vendor, or you could set up your own lead flow through EverQuote. So there's always options for leads, even if it looks like in your CRM, then it might be a little bit less. And so before we move on to the phones, is there anyone who has questions about lead flow? Speak now if ever hold your peace. How many should I buy? What kind of leads should I buy? What about my area?
Question for
Totally
you.
open to it. Yeah.
Can you touch on for like new agents, how long they should work that one specific lead batch and what that kind of looks like before they buy a new lead batch?
Yeah, good question. So in order to build good habits, Hayden, you should be buying leads at least once a week. Some people like to buy leads for every single dial day. So like buyer leads Sunday to dial on Monday, buyer leads Wednesday to dial on Thursday, and just figure out what your budget is for the week and cut it in half. But at least once a week. And what that does is that gets you in the habit of buying leads. It makes buying leads less scary, because it's not scary. What's scary is not having people to talk to. What's scary is calling the same batch of leads 4 weeks in a row. And even though I've called this lead 30 times, gosh darn it, dial number 31, this is the one they're finally going to pick up and respond to me. Like, come on, man, like you're playing with yourself, So I'd rather every single time have fresh people to talk to, have a new names to look at, instead of looking at Mary Smith for the 4th week in a row and saying, dang it, Mary, pick up the freaking phone. So good question, Andy. Get in the habit of buying leads every single week. And if that sounds scary to you, you got to do it, man. That's how you grow. You got to get uncomfortable to grow. So would you be comfortable with that, Hayden?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Cool. David, what's up?
Alex, I just want to piggyback on that real fast. I came in around the second, third week of February, and I've bought leads every single dial day beforehand, so I'm spending anywhere from 500 to 1,000 on that, but it's buying them out, getting ready for it. But my biggest thing is now I'm still buying, I'm still continuously getting fresh new leads, but I'm going back to my March and April to pepper those in. I print out the Excel spreadsheets of them, and I just hand dial them. So when they're that old, for me anyway, I'm not triple dialing those. I'm going more of a just, if I've booked my appointments and I'm trying to put some in between, then I'm going to call them 1 or 2 times. And if they're in the area, I'm knocking on that door if something goes wrong. But one thing that I always have said to everybody, and I'm not trying to steal this, Alex, but
This is good. No, go for it.
Is that when I'm looking at buying aged leads in a county that I'm continuously buying new leads in, I don't want to do that. I'm going to work those aged leads that I've already purchased, because I might purchase the same one. So you don't want to double invest on anything. Now, here and there, which I have not found a single one, you might get one that you already did, but that might be because you didn't suppress the lead, but that's higher advanced.
Yeah, that's yeah, we're talking, I mean, that's like 1% of the time. Like that happens so rarely.
If that, but I'm just saying, so work your aged leads. If you're buying aged leads, buy them up now. When you first get in there, buy them as many as possible when you first come on board. But then once you've worked that county over and over, like Alex was showing the counties that he works, I have the counties that I'm always working. If you're buying that age lead, you already have it. So go back to it.
Yep. And I like to tell everyone, be a CRM sniper. Joseph Staten sent me a private message. I just bought $2,000 in Houston an hour ago. It fills up fast with leads. And so Hayden, we were just looking for those instants. We're like, where are those instants? Joseph Staten just bought them, so he could dial them tomorrow. But guarantee you, you check later tonight or tomorrow morning, there's going to be another couple dozen instants in there. So that's the beautiful part. I like to call it being a CRM sniper. They usually get uploaded overnight about 2 a.m. Eastern or 3 a.m. Eastern is when the leads get uploaded, at least the batched leads. So first thing in the morning, early bird gets the worm, you wake up, you check your CRM. Guarantee you right now, if you check the CRM tomorrow, all right, so I'm looking at the heat map overall. If I'm zooming out, okay, if I'm looking out and I see a couple of these dots, like I look at Phoenix, right? Phoenix is usually an area that sometimes doesn't have as many leads. Guarantee you by dial day tomorrow, all 571 of these are gone and these 3 instants are gone. So it's just one of those things that you got to be a CRM sniper. And when you see them, don't wait, just grab them. If they're, especially if they're aged, like who cares if they're aged 3 months in a day or 3 months in 3 days? Like if they're available, you got to grab them. Like who cares? They're already aged, right? So any other questions on leads before we move forward and talk about the phones a little bit? How many?
Yes, I had a question.
Yes.
Hi,
Yes.
this is Sharice. I live in Delaware, and I wanted to know if you can check my area for the leads, like the hotspots.
I gotta be honest, I don't know where Delaware is. I know it's on the East Coast, but man, it's one of those tiny ones. So you're gonna have to help me
Yes,
here.
it is. It's close to Philadelphia and Baltimore. I mean, and Maryland. So it's in between.
All right, here we go. We're going to Delaware, folks. Is this it right here? Boom, Delaware.
Yes.
I now know where. Well, first off, I'm just looking at this. It's bright red. Delaware is a really tiny area. So just in the entire state of Delaware, I mean, come on, 369 instant leads in the entire state of Delaware. And you could probably drive from this end to this end in like 10 minutes. I'm just
Right.
kidding. But like you get the
Probably.
idea. Like if you have a Delaware license, you can work the entire state easily. You got 369 instant internet leads of people who requested real-time life insurance and not enough agents buying them. You're in a money pit. So there's no excuse for you not to go be spending $1,500 and writing 10K every single week. So some people would kill for this lead availability. So.
And I'm close to Baltimore. Maryland as well. It's literally probably
which way is Maryland?
10 minutes.
I don't even know which way. Is this Maryland over here? There we go.
Yeah, let me zoom in because I barely see.
I don't know if you can see that okay. But yeah, so over here, I mean, again, Maryland, 1,100 instant leads.
Oh my gosh. Maryland. Wow.
So, all right, Sharice, who's your manager?
I don't know yet. I think Christine Strate.
Christine Strate. Send a text to Christine Strate.
Okay.
And say, Christine, I'm on the new agent call. I just saw the lead availability in my area. I need help buying leads. And Christine can help you out with that. But trust me, like, I mean, you're sitting on 10K plus a week right there. So you just gotta get to work.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, Keith said fish in a barrel. Keith said it's so true, fish in a barrel. So what else? Who else got lead questions before we move on to phones? Going once. Going twice.
I think Sarah has a question. I'm calling you out, Sarah.
Summer. So I do have a question. What constitutes an aged lead? Like how old is it?
Yeah, so it'll say, good question. It'll say right there on the lead. So if I'm like looking at this screen right here and I see internet life lead 1 month, I click on that and it'll tell me 1 to 3 months old. I click on 3 months and it's 3 to 6 months old. If I'm over here looking at these aged mailers, last several years. So these could even be years old. That's why they're $1.50. I mean, final expense mailers, shoot, some of these people are probably dead. Like, let's be honest. Mortgage protection mailers, you know, these ones, they may have moved already, but they're $2.50. They're dirt cheap. So it's just one of those things that it depends on the lead type, but it could be up to a couple months old to a couple of years old. The cheaper the lead, usually the older it is. That's why it's a quantity, not quality game for aged leads. So you feel? She feels. Love it. All right, we're moving on to phones. Michael May, are you still here? We were talking earlier before the call. Did Michael leave? Michael needs to stay on. That's how Michael books more appointments. He booked 2 appointments today and I was going to role play with him and now he left. So there we go. Who's dialing this week that for their first time ever, who's going to be dialing this week other than Hayden? Because Hayden, I already picked on you, man. There's got to be at least one other person in this call that's going to be dialing for the first time ever this week. And I'm going to pick on someone if y'all don't. I'm going to pick on someone. I'm going to do it again. Who's that brave soul that wants one-on-one coaching? Joe Staten, are you on this call?
I am here.
Long time no talk, Joe. How you doing?
Doing good. It's been about a year.
Been about a year. I know. We're starting fresh, and you just bought $2,000 in leads. Is that right?
That is correct.
What kind of leads was the majority of them? Did you get a bunch of instants?
I bought all the instants. There was like 93 of them or so, and then a bunch of 291 month leads.
Solid. Okay, so a lot of internet leads. Is that right?
They were all the internet leads. Yep.
Okay, so here's what I would do if I was Joe Staten and I just bought a bunch of internet leads. I'd go to fflamerica.com. I click on this handy dandy button up at the top. You can't miss. It says phone scripts. And I would go look right here, and there's 2 different scripts for internet leads. You pick your preference, right? There's no perfect script. Everything works a little. So there's the first one. There's the second one. And I would have both these scripts open. I would print them out. I would read through them out loud, not in my head, physically out loud in the mirror. Read it to your dog. Your dog loves hearing you talk. They don't know what you're saying. Just read it out loud to your dog. They make a great client. Read it out loud as many times as you can, because reading it in your head is not the same thing as saying it out loud. Again, reading it in your head is not the same thing as saying it out loud over and over and over again. So Joe, have you practiced these out loud in the last, I don't know, a week or so?
So I've been going on YouTube and watching, I think it was Matt Smith, and going over his scripts.
But Joe, have you practiced them out loud in the last week or so? Because I could watch Matt Smith too, and he's great, but I'm not Matt Smith. I'm Joe Staten. I'm Alexander Strate. Has Joe Staten practiced these out loud in the last week?
I have practiced them. I have not practiced those scripts.
Okay, so Joe, guess what we're gonna do right now?
Practice scripts.
You got it, man. Ding, 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 winner. So can you see my screen, or is it big enough for you?
Yeah, yep, I can get it. Yep.
It's nice and clear, right? So here's what we're gonna do is I'm gonna have you book me the first time, and then I'm gonna give you a little bit of coaching. I'm gonna book you, and then you're gonna go back to booking me. So we're gonna do it 3 times out loud. You're gonna do it the first time, me the second, you the third. And then we'll talk about objections a little bit. Does that sound fair?
Okay.
Cool. First time, I just need you to get through the whole thing out loud. So I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna be the easiest client you've ever booked. Just need you to get through it, okay?
Hi, Alex.
Yeah, who's this?
Alex, it's Joe. I'm at the Benefit Center here in Houston. Getting back to you about the life insurance you requested a few weeks ago. Looks like you put 123 Main Street as your address and 1220 as your date of birth. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, perfect. So again, my name is Joe. I was letting you know that we did a little bit of research, or we are getting back to you on your request. I'm actually a field underwriter assigned to your case to get, the screen's a little small there.
That's okay.
There we go. Go through a quick eligibility. Just like I said, it's a non-medical. So there's no blood, no physical, nothing like that. I just need to check your ID and make sure that you're getting strapped into a, not strapped into a hospital bed. It should only take about 10. Are you still working full-time? Are you retired or disabled?
I'm retired.
And Alex, are you married, single, divorced, widowed?
It's just me. I'm single.
Okay, Alex, I'm dispatching your area tomorrow. I'm seeing about 15 other families. I have an opening at 10:15 in the morning or 5:15 at night. Which one do you prefer?
Let's do the 10:15 in the morning.
All right, perfect. Just write me in for 10:15. Again, my name is Joe, and I'll see you tomorrow at 10:15.
Okay, thank you. Awesome, you guys. Hey, go ahead and drop a 4 in the comments to congratulate Joe on being brave and getting through that. Awesome job, Mr. Joe Stat. You spent 2,000 on leads. I want to make sure you're successful. So how did you feel about that, man? How'd you feel about that?
It's my first time reading that script.
Yeah, that's why I say it's a lot different when you read through it out loud, right? You got to make sure you get through it out loud over and over and over again. So I'm going to do it back to you now. This isn't a who's better game. I've just been doing this for 2.5 years. So it's not like naturally I'll probably sound a little bit smoother than you because I've been doing it for a while. I just want you to hear it through smoothly, and then you're going to do it again after me. Okay?
Go for it.
All right. Hey, Joe.
Yes, it's Joe.
Yeah. Hey, Joe. It's Alex at the benefits office here in Dallas County getting back to you about the life insurance request you sent in a few weeks ago. Looks like you put 123 Main Street as your address and 12/20/1964 as your date of birth. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay, perfect. So again, Joe, my name is Alex. Just letting you know that we did get your request, and I'm actually just the field underwriter assigned to get this out to you and go through quick eligibility. And just like I said, it's all non-medical, so there's no blood, no physical, nothing like that. Just need to check your ID and make sure nobody has you strapped into a hospital bed full time, and should only take about 10 to 15 minutes. So Joe, are you still working full time, or are you retired, disabled?
Full-time working.
Full-time working, perfect. And are you single, married, widowed, or divorced?
Single.
Single, okay. So in terms of scheduling, what's your full-time schedule? Monday through Friday, weekends?
It varies.
It varies, gotcha, perfect. Well, they got me out in your area on Tuesday and Wednesday. So what time do you get off work on Tuesday and Wednesday this week?
I'll be off at 7 p.m. on Tuesday and 6 p.m. on Wednesday.
Gotcha. And what's the latest you'll be in the door from work on Tuesday? At 7 o'clock you get off. What time do you walk in the door?
I'll be home by 7:30.
Okay, gotcha. Well, they got me dispatched seeing about 15 families on Tuesday, but is there any reason you wouldn't be home between 7:30 and 8:30 on Tuesday
No, I should be
night?
here by then.
Okay, perfect. So write me in for Tuesday between 7:30 and 8:30. And again, my name is Alex, and I'll see you Tuesday evening.
Sounds good.
Cool. So what did you notice that I did there a little bit different than you when it got to about this part in the script right here? What was something I did a little bit different? I didn't ask you to do this the first time, but what was something that you noticed?
Asking for availability before you ask for a time.
Yep. It's called clearing the calendar. You guys should write that down. Clear the calendar. You have to figure out what their schedule is, because if you don't figure out their schedule and you're just randomly throwing out times and you don't know their schedule, you're just guessing. Well, I got a 2 o'clock or 6 o'clock. Well, neither of those will work. Okay, well, I've got an 11 or a 1. Well, none of those will work. And you sound desperate at that point, right? You're seeing 15 families, but you have all these openings. It doesn't add up. So I cleared your calendar. I figured out exactly what your schedule was, figured out exactly when you get home. So there's no possible way you would not have been home between 7:30 and 8:30 because you told me you get home at 7:30. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Cool. So Joe, I want you to go through this one more time, and you're going to go book me again, okay?
Okay.
All right, go for it.
Hello, Alex.
Yeah.
Alex, my name is Joe. I'm calling with the state regulated life and health insurance here in Houston County. I'm calling about a form.
Joe, I'm going to cut you off right there. Are you reading off a different script?
I'm going on, yeah, different script. Yep.
Gotcha. Let me see if it's this one. Are you reading this one, or is it something totally different?
It's kind of that one.
Kind of that one. So Joe, just having done this for a while, would strongly recommend using one of these two scripts. So if you once you're easily booking 12, 15 appointments a week or per dial day, feel free to keep trying out new stuff, but I would use the stuff that's been tried and tested and proven first. So if it's all right with you, is it okay if we stick with the same script just so you get comfortable saying it out loud? Is that okay with you?
Yeah, it's fine.
All right, cool. So let's go off this one right here on my screen again.
All righty. Hello. Hey, Alex.
Yeah, who's this?
Alex, it's Joe at the benefits office here in Houston, getting back to you about the life insurance request that you filled out a few weeks ago. Looks like you put 123 Main Street as your address and 12/24/1980 is your date of birth. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
Okay, perfect. So again, my name is Joe. I was letting you know that we did get your request, and I'm actually just a field underwriter assigned to your case I'm going to go through some quick eligibility with you. Just like I said, it's all non-medical, so there's no blood, no physical, nothing like that. Just need to see your ID and make sure that you're not strapped to a hospital bed or anything. So it should just take about 10 or 15 minutes. Now, Alex, are you still working full time? Are you retired or disabled?
I'm retired.
And Alex, are you married, single, or widowed or divorced?
I'm married, but my wife works. I'm just retired.
Okay, Alex. So I'll be dispatched out there tomorrow. I have to see about 15 other families tomorrow. And I have an opening at 6 to 6:15. Which one do you prefer?
You said 6 or 6:15?
Yeah, that's the two times that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, does my wife need to be there?
It would be better if she's there. Do you have a time that will
Oh,
work for you
okay.
better?
Yeah, she works the evening shift, so she goes in from like 2 to 9.
From 2 to 9?
Mhm.
Would 11 a.m. be better for you?
Do you have like a 12:30 or like 12:30? We're just going to be going to the doctors in the morning, so probably better for like 12:30. Do you have that?
So I do have a 12:30 available.
Okay, yeah, let's do the 12:30.
All right, perfect. Just write me in for 12:30. Again, my name is Joe, and I'll see you tomorrow at 12:30.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Joe. Awesome. Good work, man. So, right, throw a little curveball at you, right? I'm retired, but the wife works. So you got to make sure you know the wife's schedule before you start throwing out times. Otherwise, you're going to get to a home, you're going to go through the whole appointment. They're going to love you, Joe, and they're going to get all the way to the end of the appointment. They're going to say, well, this sounds great. I'll have to ask my wife when she gets off work before I make any decisions. And you're going to be like, crap, and you're not going to get a sale. So you got to make sure both people are always there. So does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Cool. Awesome. And you could see we're just reading through it over and over and over again. You know, sometimes you get a couple different scenarios, but you could see where repetition, it gets more comfortable as you do it, right?
Right.
Cool. Awesome. And one other thing I might recommend is, you know, when I said 2 to 9, you said, well, how about 11? One thing you always want to do, Joe, it's called an option close, or another name for it is a this or that. You always want to give 2 slots. So instead of saying, how about 11? Well, that doesn't work either. Well, I've got an 11, or I could do 12:30. What's better for you guys? Oh, well, I can't do 11 because I got a doctor's, but I'll take that 12:30. And if you didn't give that other slot, I could have easily have said, you know what, this is just getting to be too difficult. Forget about it. I could have hung up the phone. So you always want to give it this or that, give them an option, and you're going to have a lot better chance of someone picking a time if you give them 2 options. So does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Cool. So Joe, what I need you to do before you dial, you spot $2,000 of leads. I want you to make money. So what I need you to do before you dial, I need you to pick a script you're going to stick to. I recommend one of these 2 before you go off and do the other one. I don't know where you found it, but one of these 2 here. Read through it out loud 20 times. Sounds obnoxious, but trust me, it really sucks to dial all day and only get 2 appointments. So read through it 20 times, and that way you're gonna get a lot more than 2 appointments. So does that sound fair?
Sounds fair.
Cool. So Joe, what do you think for where exactly are these scripts? Someone asked. Let me just make sure you guys can see this again. So if I'm on fflamerica.com, I click on phone scripts and they're right here. These two are the internet lead scripts right there. So what do you guys think is the number one objection that people get when you're dealing with like internet scripts, for example? What do you think? Paul, you just had a big week of dialing and running business. Paul, go ahead and unmute. What are the top 1 or 2 objections you get on the phones?
Either I didn't fill it out, or I don't remember doing that, or yeah, this is pretty much, I don't remember doing it. I didn't fill it out. That's
I've
kind of
already
what I've
got
been
it taken
getting.
care of.
I've
Someone
got it
already
taken
called
care of.
me. I'm not interested anymore, right?
Yep, all
Which
those.
are all kind of in the same ballpark. They're all very, very similar, right?
Correct.
So Paul, if someone said, I've already got that taken care of, what do you say, Paul?
I say perfect. That's actually the purpose of my phone call. The reason why I'm calling is we have these new 2021 updated programs, and I want to make sure that you're in the best situation possible. So going back to the schedule, and I'll kind of just go back into the script.
Gotcha. But Paul, I just met with someone like 2 months ago. I've already got the 2021 plans.
Yeah, actually, on the spot, I probably would have a good answer for that. You kind of got me right there, Alex.
All good, perfect. No, I'm glad
yeah.
we're going over this. So so just so you guys know, there's 1,001 ways to overcome objections. My favorite way, and it works for almost any objection, and the mindset is that you're just trying to get them out of the system. And here's the thing, a lot of people don't like to be sold, right? If they wanted to be sold, they would have like just went online and bought it themselves. No one likes to be sold. But people are trying to get out of the system. They're trying to not get these phone calls anymore, et cetera. So let's work with them on that. So if I said I've already got that taken care of, Paul said, oh, well, we got the new 2021 benefits. And then I said, well, I just met with someone 2 months ago. I know I got the new plans. I just met with someone. I'm not interested anymore. Take me out. I'm done. If I was Paul, I would say, wow, perfect. Well, for whatever reason, it shows your file is still open here and it was never closed. So they actually got me out there just to double check everything was taken care of okay. And that way we can get you out of our system and you won't get any more phone calls. It takes 10 minutes. So are you still working or are you retired? If I'm the client, I want to get out of the system. So I want to meet with that person. That way I can get it over with. And then when you get there, you have them pull out their policy. You can review it, go through your normal in-home. You can upgrade their situation, replace a policy, whatever. But it gets you in the door, which that's what we're trying to do is get appointments. So, oh, I've already got that taken care of. Oh, perfect. Well, for whatever reason, your file is still open. And they actually got me out there seeing about 12 families a day in order just to get that taken care of for you. That way you don't get any more phone calls. We'll get you out of our system here. So are you still working or retired? Oh, well, someone's already talked to me about that. Oh, perfect. Well, for whatever reason, it shows your file is still open. So oh, well, I'm not interested anymore. Perfect. I'm not interested either. I'm just trying to get you out of our system here. That way you stop getting these phone calls. In order to do that, they got me out in your area to just review it. It takes about 10 minutes. Then we'll get you out of our system permanently. Are you still working or retired? Over and over and over again. And there's other objections, right? There's no one way. You ask, $50,000 a month producer Cassandra Carter, maybe she says different things than I do, but that's the way that I say it every single time. That's not every single time, but most of the time, that's my go-to for objections. And so, Katie Frito, can you unmute?
Yes, I'm here.
So Katie, if I told you I'm not interested, what are you going to tell me, Katie?
That's okay. Sorry, I wasn't ready for that.
All good.
If you say I'm not interested, I'm going to say perfect. I was just assigned this your case to get this information out to you. Whatever you do with the information after that is up to you. It's just going to take me about 5 or 10 minutes. So what time are you normally home? I
really don't want the info though, Katie. I've already got it taken care of.
And that's fine. It doesn't cost me anything or cost you anything for me to come out and talk with you. It's just going to take about 5 or 10 minutes.
You just take me off the list, Katie?
I haven't had that one yet, Alex.
All good. Hey, perfect, yeah. Katie. That's exactly what I'm trying to do in order to get you out of our system. They make me come out there to review it. And once we do that, we'll get you out of our system. You won't get any more phone calls. It takes 10 minutes. Are you still working or retired? You can always go back. That could be if you ever get stuck, that could be your last resort. is I'm just trying to get out there to get to the info, get you out of our system. You get no more phone calls. That's what everyone wants. No one wants any more phone calls. So who else am I going to pick on? Mike McCarthy. Mike, are you there? Can you unmute? I know I worked with you on this in the office in person, so I know you should know this if you can unmute. There he is. Mike.
Hello there. How are you?
Hey, good, Mike. Hey, Mike, I'm not interested anymore.
Well, that's fine, Alex. I'm not interested either, but in order to be able to close the record in our office, I'm going to have to come by and see you for 5 minutes. Just go ahead, check your ID. We can check the paperwork off. I'll return it, and then you won't get any more phone calls from us.
Even better. I like that. Check your ID, check the paperwork. I like that. It's like this guy's got it down. He's got a system. So if I heard that and I really wasn't interested, I'd probably be like, all right, fine, come on over, like just to get it over with. Which again, is that the highest quality appointment? No. But is it better than not having any appointments and only finishing with 4 appointments for the day? Absolutely. Because once you get in person with them, that's when you can work your magic, right? So great job, Mike. Awesome. Who else can I pick on here? I want to pick on someone else. So if you're on here, you're not safe. Let's see, Jacqueline Wilson. I need you to unmute Jacqueline Wilson. You just got picked on. That's what you get for tuning into the calls. Dang it.
I know, right? I was like, I was sitting there. Don't call me. Don't call me.
Jacqueline, I just got that taken care of. Somebody was just out.
Well, perfect. That's great. All I need to do is come in and get you off the list, if you will. So it's only going to take 5 to 10 minutes.
Well, can't you just take me off right there? Can't you just take me off?
Right. I agree with you. I would love to just take you off. It would make my job a lot simpler, but as a matter of fact, I can't. I have to come out and check your ID. I have to make sure that, you are who you say you are. And let's face it, we want to make sure that there's no fraud going on. So does tomorrow work good? Boom, boom.
Love that. I like that one too. I throw that in sometimes too, the identity theft. Yeah, they make us do it in person to make sure there's no identity theft. I'm sure you just don't want to give out your info over the phone. It takes 10 minutes. All right. So there's another route you can go. And that way, if they bought a policy over the phone, all of a sudden they're like, oh crap, I gave someone over the phone my social, my date of birth, my bank account. Crap, I didn't even think about that. So yeah, so great job, guys. So you guys get the idea with these objections. Like there's no one perfect answer, but everything's perfect. You're always agreeing with them. Wonderful, perfect. I'm so glad you brought that up. I agree. Everything's perfect. And you're just acknowledging it and you're going right through it. You're not going to sit there and just argue with them. Oh, what kind of policy did you get? Who cares what they got? They probably don't even know what they got. For whatever reason, you got a file, you got a lead and a file in your system and you got to get it closed. Who cares? So hope that helps on objections, guys. Like if you just apply that, guaranteed you're going to book another 4 or 5 more appointments on dial day. Guaranteed. So all right, so to finish, any more questions on phones, phone objections, anything else before we just spend quick 2 or 3 minutes on the in-home?
Just really quick, I have a statement there. That's probably been my biggest objection that I need to work on overcoming. I guess making it seem in a way that you're just trying to benefit them. This is going to be for a benefit for you, and you're calling the client, you're telling the client this is benefit you. Because get me off your list, take me off your list. And I'm like, perfect, I understand. I'd be more than happy to do that. But before I can do that, I need to, and then I kind of go into it, but I think I need to get better on.
Don't say but. But okay. Is an objection. But means I'm arguing. Well, I agree with you, but as soon as you say but, the mental barrier goes up. Because there's like, this guy's arguing with me, right? So perfect, I agree with you. It's exactly what I'm doing. In order to do that, they send me out.
Right. That's what I need. That's what I know I need to work on. Got you. Appreciate it.
So I'm just agreeing with them. Perfect. Hey, I definitely want to get you off this list. I'm going to do exactly that. That's why they got me out there. It takes 10 minutes. I can say that exact same thing, but if I say but, now it's argumentative. Perfect. I absolutely want to do that. But in order for me to do that, I need to take you out. No. As soon as I said that but, it goes whoop, and the barrier goes up. So
vocabulary.
Yep. Take the but out. You agree with them. And it's exactly why you're calling. It's exactly why you're out there. They got me out there to do that. So good work, dude.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. So yes, that's another good term. Jacqueline, when you just something, it makes it like a lot less scary. So I'm just the underwriter. It just takes 10 minutes. They got me seeing just, I mean, I don't know, but you can throw just out a lot, right? And when you just something, it's not quite as scary. No physical exams, just takes 10 minutes, right? So justing stuff helps as well. Awesome. All right, let's spend a quick 3 minutes on the in-home. And you guys are probably wondering, well, crap, we spent an hour talking about all this. Why are we not spending more time in the in-home? And the reason why is because the in-home's the easiest part. You guys, think about this. There is a person out there in the US of A that needs life insurance, and they fill out a form. Danielle had good questions. Don't miss it. I was on a roll. Let's go. Danielle, language barriers is what I'm dealing with. Not enough English, and I don't know other languages. How do you deal with that? So if it's Spanish, I like to give my Spanish leads to Spanish agents. You get good karma. Trust me, if you give up a lead, you get really good karma. Comes back 10x. If it's not Spanish, try to find someone that speaks Mandarin. I don't know. But I like to, if I know there's a huge language barrier, I try to give up that lead to someone that can better help the client. Do you have a script on rebuttals? Yes, Noel. Oh, so glad you asked. Before we move on, look at that. Noel, I am on fflamerica.com. I am clicking on phone scripts, and right here there is this beautiful, beautiful blue button that turns orange. It says objection workbook. And it has a lot of objections and how to overcome them. And want to know where else I could go, Noel, if I wanted more practice on overcoming objections? And I'm going to drop it in the chat right now. How many of you guys, drop a 5 in the chat if you've been on the dial team before? Drop a 5 in the chat if you've been on dial team. Yeah. I see a lot of people who are producing and putting up numbers dropping 5s. So I'm going to drop this link here in the chat. And if there's one other thing you guys wrote down tonight, which we're still going to go over in home, but like you guys been with me for an hour, this is going to be your golden nugget takeaway. If you haven't done it and you've heard this and you still haven't done it, let this be the night that you say, you know what, I'm actually going to do that tomorrow. Just posted it there in the chat, ffldialteam.com. When you type that in, it's going to ask for a password. The password is all capital FFL. It starts tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern time. And it goes until about 8 p.m. Pacific time. So it's like 15 hours. It's a long, long link. It goes all day. What that is live dialing. So it's just like this. It's a big Zoom call. There's a lot of people dialing. There's usually close to 60 to 100 people on it at its peak. And everyone's literally just dialing their leads in real time. And there's usually 2 or 3 managers or leaders that are unmuted. And they literally dial their leads in real time, and you can hear exactly what they say, their exact phone script, and exactly how they overcome every objection. And so there is no better way to learn than watching in real time people do it. So ffldialteam.com, password FFL. I didn't have that when I started. I had the Matt Smith videos that Joseph's using, which are great. But if I could have listened to someone in real time call the exact same leads I'm about to call, that would have been a lot more helpful. So ffldialteam.com, password FFL. All right, guys. Hey, we got 5 more minutes to crank through some in-home. So if you guys are down for some in-home, drop a 6 real quick if you're with me for 5 more minutes. Just need to make sure you guys are still with me. Okay, cool. All right. As a new agent for the in-home, you have one goal. And your one goal is to make it through the first 10 minutes. If you make it through the first 10 minutes, you've got the sale. And it sounds crazy, but hear me out. You are sitting down with someone. Out of the millions and millions of people in the US of A, there is something like 1 to 2% of people that fill out forms. 98% of people don't like their info going out there. 98% of people don't fill out forms. 1 to 2% fill out forms. You're already dealing with a huge minority of the population. Of those 1 to 2%, somebody picked up the phone to a complete stranger and agreed to let a complete stranger come over and let that complete stranger in their house and sitting on their couch or their dining room table. You are already 95% of the way done. You just got to not mess it up at this point. So how do you not mess it up? You don't mess it up in the first 5 to 10 minutes. If you can get through the first 5 to 10 minutes without messing up, you got the sale. You're already 95% of the way there. You just got to get over the hump. So what do you do in the first 5 to 10 minutes? First thing you should do when you get to a home, obviously get to a table, shoes on or off. Do you have a table we could sit at? But then when you sit down, you have to find the why. Life insurance is an emotional purchase. We're not selling them a new car. They can't go touch it and put their hands on the wheel and get emotionally attached to it. The emotion comes from finding the why. Who are they trying to protect? So when I sit down with a client, I literally go and I say, so we got a request in our office for some life insurance. Who were you trying to protect? Well, what do you mean? Well, who's the money going to go to when that day comes? You know, who's the one that's so important that you want to make sure you got life insurance? Well, maybe my son. Let him talk, right? Oh, perfect. Are they local? Do you already have some life insurance? Have you looked into this before? What would life look like if you didn't have this in place? Why'd you wait so long to get this set up? You're just digging deeper and deeper and deeper, trying to find the why. You're making it real right there. You're not asking about their dog and what color do they paint the house. Like, no, we're getting right to business. You'll build rapport throughout, but we're not there to build rapport and be their friend. We're there to get them protected. So in the first 5 minutes, really 3-4 minutes, you're finding the why. Dig deeper, dig deeper, dig deeper, dig deeper. And then after you've finished digging deep and you feel like you got a lot of ammunition, I go, okay, I see exactly why I'm here. I'm nodding my head like this, and the client looks at me and they start going, sales done, dude. You haven't even started and the sales done, right? You just let them explain the why. You didn't show them how you're going to help them yet, but you just let them know that I hear you, I got you, I see why you're trying to get this taken care of. I could see exactly why I'm here. And they're just like, okay, I like this guy. He's got his stuff together. You haven't said a thing yet. You're just asking questions. So that's the first 3 or 4 minutes. After that, I'm going to share my screen. You guys are going to be like, oh my gosh, another resource. If I am on this handy dandy website, americo.com, and I go to presentation on the home page, there is this beautiful, beautiful link right here to the credibility sheet and financial inventory. I use this in every single home. I have it printed out physically, color copy. Color is professional. Don't get black and white. And I have 2 sheets. And so as soon as I find the why, I can say perfect. I can see exactly why I'm here. Let me explain to you, John, exactly how I can help you. I'm a broker. What that means is that I don't work for just one company like just State Farm or just Allstate. It means I get to shop around to find the perfect plan for my clients. Essentially, instead of working for one company, I work for you. Does that make sense, John? Yes. These are some of the companies I work with. You've probably heard of a couple of these. Have you heard of, like, Mutual Omaha, AIG, John Hancock? Oh yeah, I've seen those before. Perfect. John, we do a couple different things. We do some like retirement planning. We do some mortgage protection. We do some like life insurance. Obviously today we're going to focus on X, insert lead type here. Obviously we're going to focus today on life insurance. Obviously today we're going to focus on mortgage protection, but if an opportunity arises for something else, I may bring that up as well if I feel like it can benefit you guys. Does that make sense, John? Yes. So John, in order to figure out of all these companies and all these plans, which one makes the most financial sense for you guys, I got this handy dandy worksheet here. Got 2 minutes of health questions, 2 minutes of money questions. After we get through this, we're going to look at a couple options. Our main goals, John, is we got to find something that's affordable, because if it's not affordable, we're not going to do it. It's got to be comfortable on a month-to-month basis. But most importantly, John, we have to see if you qualify. And what I mean by that is I got my laptop right here. I got my iPad right here. Once we find a plan that we both agree makes the most financial sense, we're going to go ahead and submit an application to see if you're going to get approved for that plan, because not every company, not every plan, you can't just sign up for it. It's not like Burger King. You can't just have it your way. You do have to qualify. And so what that means is that we're going to go be submitting your date of birth. We're going to be submitting your social. We're going to be submitting your address. We're going to be submitting your beneficiaries, who you want the money going to. We're going to be submitting your bank info. And that'll take about 10 to 15 minutes, no blood work, nothing like that. And we'll know right away today if you're going to be approved or not. That way, by the time I walk out that door in 20 minutes, you have that peace of mind you deserve to protect your daughter, Mary. Does that make sense, John, what we're doing today? Yes. May I proceed? Yes. And then I literally just fill out this form. And if I'm a new agent, as soon as I fill out this form, I'm going to go, all right, John, I've got a good idea of what we're going to do today. But just to make sure I put you in the best position, I'm going to call my senior underwriter just to get a second opinion. It'll take me about 5 minutes. Give me just a moment. And that's even if you don't have a clue, right? Even if you don't have a clue, you have a good idea, you're just going to get a second opinion. And then you're going to call your manager in the home. And your manager should know you're in the home because you told them beforehand you're going in the home. And then when you call your manager, you're going to say, hey, Alex, I'm sitting here with John. Do you have a moment? Yes, I do. Perfect. I'm sitting here with John and I go through everything on that sheet. I have a good idea of what we're going to do, Alex. I just wanted to get your opinion as well. I'd recommend the Americo Eagle Premier. If that declines, try the Aetna Ascendo final expense. Perfect, Alice. That's exactly what I was thinking. I just wanted to get a second opinion. Thank you so much. Even if you didn't have a clue. And all of a sudden, John's sitting back like, this guy knows his shit. Even if you don't know. But that's the whole idea, is you're getting it set up. And the sale is done right there because you've built the why, you've taken the time to dig deeper, you've taken the time to fill out the form, really get personal with them, and they already know exactly what you're going to do. So when you hang up the phone, you go, all right, John, we're going to try this company first. Go grab your driver's license and a void check. They have no questions why they need that because you're doing an application just like you talked about in the beginning. So that's all you got to do as a new agent. And then you do the application, obviously. But in your first 15 appointments, 10, 15, 20 appointments, just that. Set it up in the beginning, find the why, go through the sheets, call your manager, they'll tell you what to do exactly what they tell you to do. If you just copy, paste, repeat that in your first 15, 20 appointments, you're going to do really, really well. You're going to pick up on it very, very quickly. So feel free to drop your questions in the chat. I'm going to address Katie first, and then we'll wrap this up. So Katie, biggest objection, I already have enough insurance. I don't need this. Katie, can you unmute?
Yes.
Awesome. At what point do you get that objection?
Pretty much when I'm showing them the credibility sheet and all of the carriers, and I'm letting them know, and they're like, so what is this? And I'm like, it's a life insurance, or if their need is mortgage protection, or based on whatever their need is. And then that's what I tell them it is. And then they say that. Yeah.
So before you even get to that point, you should be finding the why. And so I would hope I would get that objection before I show the credibility sheet. So John, I'm here because we got a request to our office for some life insurance. So let me ask you, who are you trying to protect? Oh, life insurance. Well, I've already got life insurance. I don't need that. I've already got that. Well, there was a request that hit our office. And when you filled out that request, you already knew you had life insurance. Otherwise, you wouldn't have filled it out. So you already know that you had life insurance. And so who were you trying to protect? Were you trying to supplement your insurance? Were you trying to find a better rate, find better coverage? Talk to me, John. You filled this out knowing you had life insurance. What were you looking for? Don't just let them say, I didn't know. No, you knew, even if they're aged. What have you been dealing with, Katie? What kind of responses have you been getting?
So I've been working the aged mortgage leads before I figured out how to filter in the CRM. And so on the aged ones, it's, I must have filled that out a long time ago. So when I ask them if that's their handwriting, they always are like, well, yeah. And then so we know that they did fill it out. And then they're like, well, I already got it taken care of. And if I ask for the policy, either they don't know where it's at or they're good and not interested.
Got it. Perfect. So you've already got that taken care of. So glad. Go grab the policy. Oh, I don't want to go grab it. Mary, in order for me to do my job, I have to fill out your policy information. If not, you're not going to be able to get out of our system, and I'm not going to be able to do my job. So I need you to grab that before this gets awkward.
Right. Okay.
If they don't give me a policy, I will pack up and leave. Okay, just so you realize, like, John, if you don't go get that policy, I'm going to pack up and leave. You're going to stay in our system. You're going to keep getting phone calls. So we're already both here. Why don't we just get this taken care of? It'll take you 2 minutes to find it. Go back in that drawer you have everything stuffed in, go back to your safe and go find that policy for me, Mary. Put your foot down, take control. Because if you're not getting that policy, you're not getting a sale as you've experienced. Or the alternative is perfect. So glad you got that taken care of. I'm sure that you were, when you filled that out, you already had something in place. So we're looking to supplement today, right? Or you're looking to get better coverage or a better deal, right? Otherwise I wouldn't be here. You wouldn't have let me in your house. So you could try to be assumptive, but that one usually doesn't always work. So I like to make them get their policy. Andy Gonzalez says, if you spend a few minutes to find your policy, it will save us a ton of time and I'll be out of here even faster. I like that. I would even add on to that and say, otherwise it's going to get really awkward. I say that up front. I make sure they know I ain't scared of them. Okay, I need you to go find that. It's going to save us both a ton of time and I'll be out of here really quick. Otherwise it's going to be really long and really awkward and I'm going to have to stay for dinner.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And then, so basically, Katie, you want to get that objection up front before you go over the carriers. Find the why, figure out what the goal is. Are you looking to supplement? Are you looking to replace? Do you have nothing? Do you have something? If they have something, perfect. You already knew that when you filled it out. So who are you trying to protect? So I want to know that as early as I can up front. That way I can address that. So hopefully that helps. Mike asked, why do we need a voided check? Two things. One, it's for control because the person with the voided check is winning. Two, you need the account routing number for the application. So could they technically read it off? Yes. But if they don't want coverage, very easy for them to say 9 instead of 8, or they give you the wrong number, or they leave a digit off or something like that. So physically get it in your hand, you're in control. You can give it right back to them if you want when you're done. But I like to collect voided checks. Like it's like a hobby of mine. I've got dozens of them. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of money. So what else we got? Call the carrier, Grady Polson. There you go. Hayden brought that up. Or if they're really unsure, well, yeah, who takes the money out of your account each month? This one, Liberty Union National Life. Perfect. We're going to call Liberty Union National Life right now. That's Monday through Friday during business hours, right? So call the carrier. And or you can go find it, or we can wait and hold for the next 30 minutes while I call the carrier. Your choice, John. I'll go find the policy. Okay, perfect. So what else we got? In-home stuff. Going once. Going twice. Okay, so to review, here's your guys' action plan. I'm a new agent. I just spent 76 minutes on a call on a Sunday night. So my action plan right now. Number one, if I have not done so already, I'm going to fflamerica.com and I'm doing these 7 steps right now. That's immediately when I hang up the phone. Number two is I'm reaching out to my manager and I'm literally texting them. I was just on the new agent call and I want to go over blank leads. I want to go over my dial day. I want to go over my in-home, whatever. Let them know you were on the new agent call and take some action from this. So after this call, there should be a bunch of managers getting texts. There should be, there's 49 people on here. There should be 48 people sending out a text message to a manager saying, I was just on the new agent call and I'm ready to get some leads. I was on the new agent call and I'm ready to schedule my first dial day. I was on the new agent call and I wanted to practice the phones with you real quick. Let them know you're on the new agent call. As a manager, when someone raises their hand and saying, I'm plugging in, I want help, those are the people we want to help. So if you just took 77 minutes out of your Sunday evening to be here, you're the people we want to help. So please reach out to us and let us know you're on this call so we can help you. And then other than that, if you guys are ready, like get your leads tonight. Don't wait till tomorrow morning because all the CRM snipers in the morning are going to beat you to them. So get your leads tonight. Plan for dial day first thing tomorrow morning. Start at 8 a.m. and keep dialing until you got your appointment goal. And that's it. Guys, dial team, get your leads, dial the phones. If you do it, anyone could be a 20K producer. Anyone can be a 20K producer. Anyone can be a 20K producer. Anyone can go 1 for 273, right? So if you can do that and you work the phones, you can be a 20K producer. So there you guys have it. Great call tonight. Appreciate you guys tuning in. There's going to be a lot of calls tomorrow as well. And if you tune into the training call schedule on FL America, you'll see them. But if nothing else, text your manager, let them know you're on the call, grab your leads, and get ready to kick some butt with dialing this week. Appreciate all of you guys. Same time next Sunday. And we'll see you guys soon. Enjoy your evening.